Here are 25 new and free Oculus Quest 2 games on App Lab and SideQuest. Let's go! First up then is Band Space. This is a multiplayer VR rhythm game that allows players to play musical instruments together in a virtual space. In the game, players take on the role of space musicians on board a futuristic spaceship, with each player choosing an instrument to play. You can play drums, guitar, bass and keyboard, and as the music plays, notes appear on the screen, which players must hit in time with the rhythm of the song. Players can play together in real time with up to 4 players per session. The game includes a variety of songs across different genres, including rock, pop and electronic music. Next then is Downhill Bike. This is a virtual mountain biking game that simulates the thrill of racing down steep mountain slopes on a mountain bike, where the game offers a range of different tracks to provide a different challenge to players as they ride down the mountain. You must maneuver around obstacles such as rocks, trees and jumps while maintaining balance to avoid crashes. The game's recent update includes multiplayer, and the game also contains leaderboard support so you can compete for the high score. Next up then is JKXR, which is Jedi Knight 2 in VR. Now JKXR is a standalone VR port of the popular Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. Now there isn't much to say about this besides for the fact it's not an official port of the game, but expect many lightsabers and Jedi in VR. Next up then is Decommission. Now Decommission is a virtual reality social deduction game where players are placed on a space station to Mars that is about to be decommissioned. The station is on the verge of collapse and players have to work together to save it from mandatory evacuation. However, among the players there is a mole whose goal is to sabotage the station and bring it down. Now I know you know where this is going. It's basically another version of Among Us. To win the game, players must identify the mole and eliminate them while still working together to repair the station systems, and the mole on the other hand must remain undetected and sabotage the station without being caught. Basically guys, it is a form of Among Us but with meta avatars. Next up then is Siberian. Siberian is a multiplayer action and adventure game that allows up to 4 players to cooperate and battle enemies in a futuristic planet. The main objectives of the game is to restore and rebuild the planet by completing various missions and quests. With over 20 missions and 50 plus hours of gameplay, Siberian offers an in-depth story that will keep players engaged for hours on end. In addition to the story, the game features an RPG style leveling system that allows players to upgrade their character and weapons as they progress through the game. There are 8 unique characters and 11 unique weapons to choose from, giving players variety as they battle their way through the game. So next up then is A Boy, a Shield and a Sword. Now this is an action-packed adventure game that challenges players to use their sword and shield skills to overcome obstacles and defeat enemies. The game's simple control make it accessible to all players as they swing, block and dodge objects while matching their weapon's colour to that of their enemy. The game is set in a childhood dream world where players must use their creativity and wits to overcome the nightmares that plague them. Next up is Animal Jigsaw VR. This is a puzzle game that offers a relaxing and educational experience to players. The game focuses on different animals and their habits, immersing players in the beauty of nature. Players can socialize with cheetahs on the savannah or listen to the peaceful sounds of the meadow amongst some deer. The gameplay involves completing 3D puzzles of varying complexity and quantity, with over a dozen levels of increasing difficulty. Each level completed unlocks a new region and expands the player's animal collection. And next up then is Ball Balance. Now Ball Balance is a virtual reality game that challenges player skill and reflexes as they navigate through tricky levels filled with unexpected obstacles and challenges. Players must guide the ball along the path, avoiding obstacles that can make it fall. The game also requires players to maintain the health of the ball, which decreases every time it hits a hurdle. Additionally, players must reach the end point within a given time frame and collect as many diamonds as possible along the way, and with each level the difficulty increases and players must master new skills to advance in the game. Next up then is the Bowbot's firing range. Now Bowbots puts you in the shoes of a robot equipped with a powerful bow and an array of advanced arrows. The goal is to shoot down enemy drones, recharge their shields and protect themselves from enemy fire. Shooting targets also plays a crucial role in the game, as hitting them rewards players with even more powerful arrows, giving them an advantage over their opponents. Next up then is Box to the Beat VR. Now this is a VR boxing game that combines intense boxing action with the excitement of music. Players can experience the thrill of boxing while jamming out to their favorite tunes in a fully immersive VR environment. Now we've seen loads of rhythm-based boxing games in the past, so just straight on to the next one. So next up then is Chroma Run. Now Chroma Run is a virtual reality game that provides a unique immersive experience where you must use your full body controls to physically move, rotate and dodge in order to work out. In the game you'll explore 8 fascinating worlds, each with its own distinct colour and theme, and you'll navigate 5 challenging levels in each world, facing various obstacles and challenges that become progressively harder as you get through the game. Next up then is Decoy Drop. Now this is a virtual reality game that puts you in control of a neural linked assault mech. Your mission is to draw enemy fire and attention away from your team's high value target, giving them enough time to position themselves for the attack. The game is designed as a reimagining of classic sci-fi shooter arcade games. You have a free to play mode where you can practice your skills and try to beat your own top scores, allowing you to improve your abilities and prepare for more challenging levels. Next up then is Drone Soccer XR Solo Prototype. Now Drone Soccer XR is a prototype virtual reality game that simulates the experience of playing drone soccer. The game is designed to be played solo and allows users to practice their skills without the need to purchase an actual drone. Players navigate their virtual drone through an arena, attempting to score goals while avoiding obstacles and opponents. The game's simple and intuitive controls make it easy for players to pick up and play, while its immersive virtual reality environment adds to the overall experience. And although currently only available as a prototype, the developers are open to feedback and suggestions from users and hope to eventually release a full multiplayer version of the game. Next up then is Aliens and Heroes. In this game you play as a fighter who has been captured by advanced aliens to participate in battles against other fighters. The aliens have selected characters from throughout history who have unique abilities and characteristics, and with the help of space-time portals they have brought them to the arena to battle each other. As a player you will choose your character and engage in battles using your character's special abilities to defeat your opponents, and the game is set in an unspecified future and offers a unique blend of sci-fi and ancient fighting style. Next up then is Forklift Driving Simulator. Now in this game you will have the opportunity to operate a forklift truck, lift and move materials, and navigate through different levels of challenges and obstacles. The game features realistic graphics that simulate the environment of a warehouse or factory floor with accurate representation of the forklift truck and materials you will be handling. It is designed to provide a fun and engaging way to learn how to operate a forklift while also testing your skills and ability to handle different tasks and scenarios. Next up is House Scale VR, which is a cutting-edge virtual reality software that utilizes the pass-through feature of the Oculus Quest 2 to provide an immersive experience to its users. With this feature, users can create virtual objects and convert them into in-game elements, and the game itself is a wave-based survival game that involves two types of zombies. One, zombies that use projectiles to attack, and zombies that use their hands. Players must defend themselves against these zombies by slashing them with a sword or shooting them with a bow and arrow. During the game, the walls and the objects of your house will translate to in-game objects that can be destroyed by the zombies in order to reach the player. Next up then is Kaiju Chaos, which is a VR game that puts players in the shoes of a giant monster known as a kaiju, and your goal is to rampage through the city and destroy everything in your path like Godzilla. Now this is currently a demo, but the game does feature a variety of different kaiju to choose from, each with unique abilities and attack, and as players move through the city they can stomp on buildings, crush cars and battle against other kaiju. The game also includes a range of human defenders such as tanks and helicopters that players must fight off to avoid being taken down. This game is very similar to Blockbuster, which I recently covered in a video. Next up then is Gorilla Volleyball. Now this is an obvious mix between Gorilla Tag and Volleyball with the same locomotion as the mentioned game. This doesn't need any more of an explanation as we've seen many Gorilla Tag knockoffs in the past, so let's get on to the next one. Next up then is Mixed Reality Bowling. Now Mixed Reality Bowling is exactly what it says it is. The game allows you, the player, to play bowling in your home environment by taking advantage of the Oculus Quest Mixed Reality features. That's all we can say about that one, so on to the next one. Next up then is Shoothouse VR. Now this is a physics-based shooting range simulation that provides a realistic shooting experience to players. Players can test their shooting skills with a variety of firearms such as pistols, shotguns and rifles. The game's ammo system is similar to that of Half-Life Alyx, which means players can grab ammo from behind their shoulders. The game also features additional mini-games for players to enjoy. Multiplayer support is planned in future, allowing players to compete against each other in shooting challenges. Next up then is the Bubble Game. Now the Bubble Game is a virtual reality popping game that is designed to be a refreshing and relaxing way to unwind and de-stress from the hectic pace of everyday life. The game in itself is a tranquil world filled with bubbles, and your objective is to simply pop as many as you can as you progress through the levels, and you'll encounter increasingly complex patterns of bubbles requiring you to use your wits and reflexes to pop them all before time runs out. Next up then is Toss It. Now this is a VR game where you must, you guess it, toss rolled up pieces of paper to knock over the targets in front of you. There are 3 exciting challenges to choose from, but that's really all I can say, so straight on to the next one. Next up then is Ultra Globe. Ultra Globe is a social game where you fly around an enchanting world on your own or with other players. There isn't really much going on here except for the fact that they've just got trees, waters, animals, insects, fish and birds in the map that you're in. But that's all I can really say for this one, so on to the next one, which is... Next up is VR Arm, or VR-Arm. VR-Arm is a difficult puzzle game where you control an industrial robot arm to complete tasks. Hand-eye coordination will be stretched to its limits as the game asks you to master 6 rotating and pivoting joints in tandem to complete tasks in your virtual physics-based environment. As this is only a demo, you will currently only be able to play 2 levels of the game, but you can try it out today. Next up is the Rooms of Reality demo. Now, Rooms of Reality is a puzzle game that can be played alone or with friends. It features various levels with challenges that require logic, mechanics, precision, memory, cooperation, cipher, and skill. The game offers a well balance of puzzles, and if you get stuck, there is a smart hint system to help you out. You can play the game in co-op mode with your friends, or go it alone in solo mode. Anyway, that's it for me for now.